Had a workshop of immigrant workers with Japanese lawyers and South Korean lawyers and Philippine, Indonesia workers. So we were requested to cooperate with sending countries and receiving countries and each other. Yeah, and we are going to hold the meeting this month, September 29 in Kawaguchi with the tapping. So we are preparing and studying the immigrant working issue. And I wanted to know about the program of marriage migrant in Japan today, and I am Secretary General of this organization. But in ordinary, I am a lawyer involved in the divorce cases with among Japanese people and foreigners. So I can engage in the divorce or domestic violence case in Japan from now. But today I want to know about the issue of marriage migrant in Japan. Can you sum the situation marriage migrants in Japan?
Yeah. Okay. So regarding the Filipino migrants, the marriage migrants in Japan, in getting married, there are three categories. One category, a Filipina from the Philippines came to Japan to work as an entrepreneur, and she was able to meet the husband to be in the club as previously customer in the club. That is one. And then second is a Filipina mail order bride, Umiay Keiko. So mail order bride is common, very strong in year 90s in Japan. Mail order bride is, there is an agency in Japan recruiting the men, Japanese men, and there is an agency in the Philippines recruiting the young women from the rural area, particularly in the countryside, the farmers, and they will arrange it to the agency, So in Manila, there is they put these young women from the rural area in a big building, in a house, and room per room. Each woman has a room. And the Japanese men from Japan coming, there is, we call it 1 week marriage. The first day Japanese came to the Philippines to see the Filipino young women. Then no courtship, just choosing which among of them, and then they have a date, 1 day date, and then if they like that woman, another second day date. If they like that woman, the third day, they are now planning for the marriage. And then after that, in the fourth date, there is a marriage happen. In the fifth date, there is honeymoon. And 6 days is honeymoon. And 7 days, the Japanese men come back to Japan. And the Filipina wives remain in the Philippines while the document, the paper, and the visa is ongoing, processing by the agency. And the price of the Filipino women is 3 million to 5 million yen, one Filipina. Same as Thailand women. So that is the pattern of the male or the bride. And then the other category is introduced by the friends or families. Like for example, I married to Japanese, and I have a brother, a sister, or relatives, cousins, and there's a Japanese men who are looking for Filipino wives, and then I introduce this Japanese men to my sister, like that, and that is arranged by the families and friends. So this is the three categories of how the Japanese men get married to the Filipino women. So the cases that we are handling for mainly domestic violence, those Filipina who engage in mail order bride, and second, those Filipina who married to a customer before, is a Filipina as an entertainer and married to a customer. So that's the situation of their marriage. And then for the working condition of this Filipina, according to the statistic, there is about 300,000 Filipino migrants in Japan. 300,000 Filipino migrants in Japan estimated. And according to the Immigration Bureau, there are about 12,000 undocumented. They said, but in reality, it's more than that. So, among these 300,000 population of the Filipino migrant in Japan, more than half of those population is women. And these women, this is the one, the married to Japanese, the entertainers, and now caregiver. Some of them are caregiver, and the single mother. So more than half, it seems, half of the Filipina Japanese men is divorced. Meaning Filipina got divorced in the Japanese. So that this situation is based on Kanto area. But about the situation of other migrant women in Chubu or in Shikoku or Kyushu Island, we are not so familiar about their situation. But maybe this is in Kanto area. Because like in Okinawa, they have different situation. Although Filipino women in Okinawa, there are many Filipino women also domestic violence victim, but they have the second marriage. Most of them is a second marriage to American soldiers or American workers in the United States. First marriage is Japanese men, and second marriage is American workers or soldiers. So this is the trend. And then, what is the work of these women? Of course, those who are married to, still married with the Japanese men, those who can speak and can read a little bit kanji, they can work in the factory, like food factory or bento. And they can work in a company, like spare part of the company. Or they can work in some of them are working tobacco company. There is a small tobacco company also around Saitama area. And plastic company. And some of them, even though they are working in the factory,